Okay, guys. So quite many questions received. They were more or less the same question, being asked in a different way. Uh, Based on certain posts and based on your comments, I got to know that something is going wrong. Uh, if I talk in terms of technicals will work most of the days, and some days there will, on the choppy sessions they will at times fail, but we should be equipped and we should be ready to handle such days as well. The problem why are we not able to handle such days, that needs to be that needs to be identified, and that is something that we need to work upon it. So the first thing that I came across is your margin. um, some days back.
Hello,
Yes, yes,
hello, sir.
Vedanta.
This is Baijanath. So somehow we are not able to hear this very clearly. Is it my problem or is it with
Guys, can you call me?
everyone?
It's your problem. It's your problem.
Okay.
We can hear you clearly.
Okay.
What I will be doing, I will be recording the session as well. I will be trying to record the session. If it works out properly, I will be able to share that as well. But in case the recording doesn't happens properly, then I will not be able to share the things. So guys, what is margin requirement? There are some days back, as I said, I know I have triggered no, a sort of request that, in case if you have any questions, or in case you are facing any sort of issues, after joining and before joining the channel, you can share some details about it, where I gave you certain questions to be answered. What is your margin, approximate margin that you are using? How is it being now, being profitable now, or no, incurring a bit lesser losses or more losses after joining the channel? At that time also, I observed quite a few members are actually trading with a very inadequate margin. Guys, please mute yourself. Thank you. Thank you. So guys, understand, that uh, trading is is something which needs to be done in a right and in a proper manner. Market doesn't care, or market doesn't even bother how much of amount or how much of problems you are going through. If you have just 5,000 rupee, or you just have 7,000 rupee, it doesn't care at all, right? In trading you are bound to make mistakes. Or in trading, what is trading, trading is identifying the high probability directions, and executing the trades towards that direction, and managing them well. But these are probabilities. These are not predictions. Okay. So try to understand, there are certain process, there are certain thumb rules that you have to understand, you have to accept, you have to execute, and then you have to trade. If you are not able to qualify them, if you are not able to fulfill those requirements, you should not be trading. Wait for your time, wait for that time to come, and then you begin your trading. So with respect to margin requirement, as I say, you need to have, or rather you need to trade one lot of either bank nifty or nifty against the capital of 10,000. Okay, when I say you should not be trading more than one lot against 10,000 of your margin. When I say this doesn't mean that, no, if you have 10,000 you are onboarded to trade. Before trading you need to create two parts of your margin. Okay. So again, market doesn't bothers who are you, what is your problem, what is your pain. Okay. It does demand some process, it does demands, certain specification or certain requirements that you have to fulfill. So you need to create two parts of your, of your capital. So the base minimum requirement of the margin has to be 20K if at all you want to trade with one lot. That can be either bank nifty or that can be either nifty. Reason, when you have 20,000 as your capital, you can keep that 10,000 aside as a safe. This is trading. Okay, this is trading, this is high risk, or high risk prone activity. You might have been doing things right on most of the days, but no, but the day like yesterday, where the system just, just completely crashed, No one was able to exit or no one was able to enter. On those days, if you are no, if you are into position with your fullest capital and if you don't find an exit, that is going to be your last day in the market. I hope no one wants that to be happen. There is there isn't any of your fault. You are not at fault. But the technology that you are associated with, where you cannot do anything, they have screwed up something because of which you have been thrown out of the market. Any uncertain things, anything can happen. You might have entered into a wrong trade. Might have given you a wrong trade. So we failed to book the trade. We kept continuing our losses. We have extended our losses. Something has gone wrong technically or technology wise. You don't have control on them. So whatever margin you have, you need to create two parts of it, and you should be only looking on using the half of it or the first part of it. So the base minimum requirement margin for you to trade with one lot, that is either Bank Nifty or either Nifty, not both, that is 20,000. So when you have 20,000 as an as a margin, you are allowed to make use of 10,000. And with 10,000, by going the theory, one lot against 10,000 rupee, you are only bound to trade with one lot. Now that is either Bank Nifty or that is either Nifty. You wanted to trade. You wanted to trade no with two lots, one on the Bank Nifty and one on the Nifty. You need to have 40,000 as your capital. If you don't have, that is not market's problem. That is not my problem. You have to accumulate that. You have to uh, uh, accumulate that, or you have to wait for your time to come. Depositing 8,000 rupee, 5,000 rupee, 3,000 rupee, 12,000 rupee and trading with one lot or two lot. I know one lot can be bought at 3,000 odd rupee, one lot can be bought at 6,000 rupee, but that is not your right position sizing. That is not the right method, or that is not the right way of trading. Okay, is this clear so far? We have to create two parts of our capital. Once you have created two parts of your capital, you are only allowed to trade one lot against your 10,000 of the margin, not more than that. If you have 30,000 in your capital, by creating two parts of it, it is 15,000. You are still no, you are still bound to make use of just 10,000 of it, because you cannot buy another lot at 5,000 cost. Please keep this in your mind. Please have this as a process. Please have this as a rule. If you are under trading, you need to wait for your time. You can accumulate the funds. You should not borrow or you should not loan any funds. Don't look for those areas. Don't look for those ways to trade. Aim to trade right. Aim to trade with the capital which you can absorb or which you can afford to lose. Don't get any of your liability, or don't get any of part expense related funds into trading with a with a dream that you will be doubling it, and you will be paying off your expenses as well as you will be making profit out of it. No, if you are short on funds, you should not be trading. That's period. Now, going with the example, as I said, one lot to be traded against no against a margin of 10,000 rupee. No matter what, the second part of the margin never to be used. That is kept as a safe. If something goes wrong, then you can be back into market slowly and steadily. Making gains, which will not only recover your losses, but you will be back in the game, and will be making some bit of earning as well. Low on capital, accumulate the required capital, and then only trade. Now, going with a decent amount of margin, for example, if you have 80,000 odd margin of your capital to be traded, I'm not pointing towards the entire portfolio holding. That is not. This is the surplus cash that you have in your account that you can trade, or you can think to trade easily. If you have 80,000 cash in your account, you should not be using more than 40,000 of it. And with 40,000 as a usable margin, you should not be entering more than four lots. That can be either two plus two lots of Bank Nifty and Nifty. That can be either just four lots of Bank Nifty or just four lot of Nifty. Any combination that you can create, but not more than total four lots are supposed to be used with the 40,000 of trading capital. Why it is important? No, you must be thinking that no, I can easily buy for no one lot of Bank Nifty or Nifty at the money, or out of the money with a easy capital of 4,000 or 6,000. Why should I hold myself uh, or restrict myself, with the 10,000 per lot. It is known as position sizing. It is there to provide you some comfort on the days when you go wrong, on the days, no, where you are not able to do things right. With the limited set of margin, and with the better cushion on the no, with the limited sort of lots and a better cushion on the margin, you will be able to trade right. Even if you are making losses, that will not be as big as, as you would have made by entering with multiple lots, no, against 10,000. So on the pole, I have seen there are some people who are entering with two lots at the, with the capital less than 11,000. There are quite a many people who are trading with, with the capital with less than 5,000 odd. Trading cannot happen that way. Trading cannot be done like that. I mean, trading is high probability, no a sort of, it is an activity where you try to gauge the market, based on the technicals, based on the data. Once you are no, kind of a bit sure, there is a probability of 70 or 80 odd percent this will be the direction where we will be moving. You enter into that into that direction, with by executing the order. But you do have the probability which is left as a 30 or 40 odd percent that this may not work as well. That is where your SL, and that is where you take your losses. You cannot expect that if I have entered into any sort of trade, that is definitely going to, proceed into my own way. There is no look back period out there. It is bound to happen. It will happen. With respect to margin requirement, is it clear? Any questions? Anyone? Yes, Bhushan. Sorry. When do we use second part? We will never use second part in trading. That is kept as a safe. You don't have to make use of it. In investment, you can make use of it, but in trading, you cannot make use of it. Just imagine you have entered into any sort of position with your fullest capital, by exhausting or utilizing your second part as well, and something goes wrong on that day. No, if we lose capital, we don't have to refill it. We will never refill it. When we are losing capital, we will have to evaluate what are those things that we have been doing wrong, or what's wrong with me, that I have been making losses of. What will be the loss quota for funds below 50,000? Now it depends how many lots that you trade. It's not about funds. It's about the number of lots that you trade. It's about just one lot. So now here it will depend. So see, now there is a problem, which is the second topic on the Excel. No, where there has been a question raised how to stay longer on the trades. Okay, that is where I'm going to touch upon two different aspects of, no, executing or holding the trades. One lot Nifty and one lot Bank Nifty. So you are somehow utilizing 20,000 of your capital against the capital of 50,000, which is decently okay. So here, no, Mayank, it will depend how much profit are you able to make when you are entering into any sort of trade. What is the amount of profit that you are making? Whatever profits that you have been making, on an average basis, on a daily average basis, that is supposed to be your loss quota. For example, if I have been trading with one lot of Bank Nifty and one lot of Nifty, on an average, on a day basis, including the losses, if I have been making approximately somewhere around 1,500 to 2,000 of the gains on an average, that becomes my loss quota. That becomes my loss quota, because if I don't have the ability, or if I don't have the capacity to gain, no, x amount in a day, I should not be, taking a risk of losing that x amount on any of the day. Is that clear? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Am I audible now? Okay, I'm so sorry. I think the
Yes, you
mute
are
got
audible, sir. Right now.
clicked by me. So guys, I'm saying. I mean, did we hear the how the definition of loss quota? How do we derive our loss quota? Was that audible? Okay, okay. So Mayank raised a question that he
No, no.
trades with one lot of Bank Nifty and one lot of Nifty. What should be his loss quota when he's trading with a capital of 50,000? So here the loss quota is not to be supposed. Sorry, is not to be not devised based on the capital that you are using or the capital that you are having. It is to be devised based on the amount of gains that you make on a consistent basis. That is your daily gains, or not, that is your daily average gains on an average on an average basis. What is the amount of gain that you have been able to procure from the market? That turns out your loss quota. For example, if I'm trading with one lot of Bank Nifty and one lot of Nifty on a usual basis, on a daily basis, and if I have been on an average for a week or for multi weeks, if I have been making 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees odd on an average basis, that 2,000 rupees becomes my loss quota. So this is like, no, if I have capacity, or if I have the potentials to make an earning of just 1,000 or 2,000 odd on a daily basis, I should not be taking a risk of more than that amount on any specific day. Because if I cannot gain that 2,000 rupee on a day, I should not be losing more than 2,000 on any day. I should be keeping aside from for the day for on from the market on for that day, and I should be looking for further days to be traded. Okay, I think that's clear. I will come to the rest of the questions. Let me cover the important things that I wanted to share with you. Then after that we can take some questions and additional things. So the question was how to stay longer on the trades. Okay, so you are a single lot trader, but you happen to book 15 odd points or 20 odd points on the Bank Nifty, and then you keep seeing that probably I should have waited. Then I might have chased a target of 150 points or 200 points that we are seeing now, but I'm out of the trade. So guys, there are two choices for a single lot traders. You are the one who need to decide, what's the way forward you choose or you select for yourself. So the first one is, you either focus on building your capital big. Okay, while building your capital big, because if you manage to build your capital big, you don't have to trade with single lot. You will be having a potential or an option that you can book one of your lot at a decent gain, and the other lot will still be in the game for further targets if at all it further moves. But uh, that is one of the approach, that no, you can either focus on building your capital big, because markets are never linear. They will not rise, or they will not fall at the same direction, at the same fall, or at the same strength. They remain in direction, but that is for very very smaller time frame. Okay, look at your capital, and look to book 40 or 60 odd points on Bank Nifty and approximately 12 to 16 odd points on Nifty. I will be taking you through the heat map for the month of Jan, in terms of what is the amount of points, or the amount of gains that we have been making, or the losses that we have been making with the first initial trades. This is the second trade that we execute. This is the third trade that we execute. These are the series of trades that we that gets executed for the day. If at all, there has been quite a many push and pull, because of the choppiness or because of the volatility. So look at your capital. If you're trading with just 20,000 of the margin, where you are just making use of the one part of it, 10,000, even 40 points or 60 points on the Bank Nifty are more than enough for you to build your capital slowly and steadily. If that is your vision. On Nifty, approximately anything between 12 to 14, 16 odd points are more than enough for a trader who is just trading with 10,000 of the margin. In this case, what you are trying to do is, you are focusing on building your capital big, so that after a period of time, maybe after a month, or after 2 months, you will be shifting from single lot trader to maybe a double lot trader, or maybe two lot trader. Okay, but on the days when I call out that this today's session is going to be a choppy, it is going to be a volatile, it is not going to be an easy, that is based on the technical setup, that is based on the sentimental setup. If I sense any sort of risk, you should also sense that risk. You should not ignore ignore those things, and you should not be only focusing that yesterday, since last 3 days I have been making some decent amount of gains. Today I cannot afford to take a leave from the market. No, if your focus is this, you have to stay away on such days. Don't feel bad that a day that I missed a wonderful day. Since past 2 days, like today and the yesterday, quite a quite a few traders who have been following this, where they are booking their decent amount of gains, and they are staying away from the market because their vision or their aim is to build their they build their capital big. They came back to me asking, sir, am I doing things right? Because market does appears to be giving you further opportunities to make further gains. I said, look at your capital, look at your risk potential. Market is going to be there for many more years. It is going to be there even after we die. But if your capital dies today, you will not be able to trade tomorrow. So having this focus in your mind, don't feel bad that you missed a wonderful day. These wonderful days are just one off days. These are not recurring days. These are just one off days. If you focus on this one off days and you ignore those consistent days, you will never be able to reach your goal. You will never be able to make money out of the market. You should strongly say that you stayed away because your margin cannot handle that choppiness. If you are well equipped with the margin, 80,000 odd, 1 lakh odd, 60,000 odd, 40,000 odd, you can still take a risk and enter into market. You can take that risk. But if you are a single lot trader, accept that. Accept that you cannot take more risk. I will come to a certain questions that has been raised. I will take you through the heat map, and we'll try to explain what happens if what you do and what happens when you don't do. Talking about the second approach, so the first approach is, no, you will be focusing on building your capital big, so you will be looking for a limited gains. You will never get discouraged, or you will never feel bad if market have made or have given extended gains after you have made an exit. You will realize, you will understand this. These are one of the days, these are one of the sessions that happens, and you are not ready for such sessions to be traded. The second approach is, if you are still reluctant on looking for for a longer run, as I said, gave an example of marathon run and a 100 meter sprint. If you are the one who is going to ignore the marathon run because I cannot hold everyone's hand and can make you sit and then stand up and say you should run at the lower pace because you wanted to, or you should be running longer. But if you are a sort of an individual who don't focus on building it big, but you are a trader who want a big today itself, then you try to chase bigger profit by shifting your SL a little below your cost. Once Bank Nifty makes a gain of 25 plus points and Nifty makes a gain of 8 plus points. So the area where you are actually booking your profits and then you are getting discouraged, or then you are feeling bad that after I booked 20 or 25 odd points and Bank Nifty made a rally of 250 points, if you are of that feeling, then shift your SL a little below your cost, like 10 15 odd points below your cost. I hope that much of risk anyone can take. 250 300 rupee risk on a Bank Nifty, anyone should be able to take. If not, then you are not right, you are not at the right place. If you want to chase bigger profit, no one can guarantee you that yes, if you move your SL to cost, there is going to be 150 or 170 odd points of rally for sure. Technicals, setup, breakout, breakdowns, data will indicate you. I will be indicating you. I'm not a Baba, I'm not an astrologer that who will tell you, you just enter, you place it at your place your SL at cost, and you will be able to book 250 points on the Bank Nifty. No, that's not happening. At least with me, when you are associated, that is not going to happen. But if you are feeling bad, if you want to look for that bigger gain, move your SL a little below your cost once Bank Nifty moves plus 25 points and once Nifty moves plus 8 points. you should not regret after that if your SL is taken, that I should have booked 25 odd points and 8 odd points when it was there. No, you should not regret, because this is the path you have chosen for yourself. No surety, as I said, if the profit gets extended or not, is your SL at cost will be or a little will be hit, or you lose out on the profit that you had. That is one of the probability. Or if you are lucky on that day, because you are anyways not aware of the setups and further probabilities, if you are lucky on that day, you will be able to capture big rally like today. Any question with this? And the other approach on this is like, no, the trailing method, or the trailing SL method that we follow, that is more applicable to the multi-lot traders, where they have potential to enter into Bank Nifty, let's say for 3 lots or 4 lots, or maybe Nifty with 3 or 4 odd lots. They have that potential, they have that, no, they have that space to book their first part at some decent gain, to move their last part at little below cost, and to keep trailing the second part as an, as how it keeps moving ahead. This can be done if you are trading with multi lots. I understand everyone will not be able to trade with multi lots, because we are there are quite many, many individuals or many traders who are trading with very uh, limited margin. So accept that you are trading with limited margin, you have to take that limited risk and limited gains also. Don't look for bigger gains. Any question with this? Vaishnav, I just said, for a Bank Nifty, a decent gain is between 40 to 60 odd points. That is more than enough. If you have accepted that you are a single lot trader, then that you are just deploying or risking your 10,000 of the capital, and against your 10,000 capital, if you are getting 1,000 odd rupee on a day, that is more than enough, I think. Or if you are the one, who wanted to look big, or rather who wanted to chase big, not satisfied with the 1,000 odd rupee or 10,000, 10% of your capital, then just place your SL, a little below cost. That is the risk that you take, not the risk of hitting your losses, but the risk is of losing the profits. That is the risk that you accept, and you trade accordingly. Clear, guys? Mayank, any question? You said no. No questions. Cool. Okay, moving on to the next one, questions and expectations. Just a minute. Yes, Madhu. Madhu says in that case, for a 40K capital needs to take 2 lots. That should be 2 lots of either Bank Nifty or Nifty is better. So this is a question again. I keep getting, which one should I trade, Bank Nifty or Nifty? Bank Nifty or Nifty? So guys, I cannot tell you which one will make further, make further aggressive rise, or further, further aggressive fall amongst both. So I would go with one on each. Okay, but uh, by looking at the data, or by looking at the nature of both the indices, Bank Nifty is more volatile. It has high beta than the Nifty. Okay, Bank Nifty. If you are looking for volatility, if you are looking for no a strong thrust, or quite a more of adventure and excitement, then Bank Nifty is the one where you would be trading. But do understand that it is equally risky as well. Okay, just so look at the both sides of the grass, not just one side of it. So in short, high beta refers to the, the amount of volatility it may create, the faster momentums that it will have. Okay, so Bank Nifty is the most volatile. Then we have the Nifty Finance, which is a bit, which is also volatile, but no, a bit less than the Bank Nifty. And then we have Nifty. Ashwin says, just as if you feel the day is expected to be choppy, can we limit the number of calls, or we enter only breakdown or breakouts? So Ashwin, the problem is, see, the trading, as I say, is the play of probability. Okay, so it may happen, that I'm looking at the data set and looking at the choppiness of the candles that have been forming, or at the levels where the breakouts and breakdowns are indicating, and the option chain data, it is looking a bit choppy. But I also know on such choppy days, those are the days which gives you a massive, no, massive sort of momentum on the charts as well. So it will be difficult for me as well to time the trades. So I cannot say no that I'm going to miss the first trade, I'm going to miss the second trade, probably the fourth trade is the one that I will be trading for the actual gains. That cannot happen. What I try to do, or what, to the best of my ability, what I try to do is, I try to make you enter into the most probable trades that are bound to happen, that are happening. The moment I see them not to be performing, or them they not to be moving as expected, I pull you off immediately. I don't wait for the stop loss of 45 odd points or 50 odd points to be hit. I probably pull you out of no out at probably at 20 or 30 odd points. So it may happen when I'm pulling you off at 20 odd points, you may be making an exit around 25 odd points. I believe that much is still accepted. Okay. So question, rather comment that daily more than five trades are there. Yeah, coming to that. I have seen sometime. So daily more than five trades, difficult to trade all. Okay. Uh, so I do understand more than five trades are triggered on the days only when there has been a bit of choppy momentums, or those are the days where we are not getting the expected momentums or the right momentums. Okay, where we have not been able to make a decent amount of gains, or we have been not been able to catch a decent amount of maybe rise or fall on the markets. If you look at the first trade itself, this is the first trade. These are the morning trades that we enter into. We do enter into a series of successful trades as well. So it's not the case, that you will be exiting every time you enter. You will be making losses every time you enter into morning trades. So these are the morning trades on the bank nifty. These are the morning trades on the nifty. Now you would look at, there are more reds and there are quite comparatively less greens out here. But also look at the amount of points that we are taking out when it is red, and the amount of points that we are making while it is red. Sorry, green. A trading has to be done the way it is, and not the way I expect. So there are few traders who approach me, sir, please give me sure short trade. There is no sure short trade. At least I cannot spot any sort of short trades. Trading is just a probability that is backed by your technicals, that is backed by your data, based on your own abilities, based on the skills, and based on the experience. You are probably bound to identify the high probability trades, and you should be able to trade them. But even though you have identified the high probability direction that you wanted to trade, no, we are expecting, or we are looking for it to trade that direction. But after we have entered into that trade, and and the immediate momentum is not picking up, rather it is no it is a bit tilting reverse, there is no point in holding that trade. It is okay. Think like a trader. Think like a trader. Don't think like a client or something. Think like a trader. Trading is all about probability. If you enter into any position, if you see the momentum to be picking up, you will continue to hold the trade, you will keep trailing it. But after entering it into any sort of position, if you don't see a momentum to be picking up, you will book your losses. That be it minuscule or be it moderate, you will book your losses. In other channels, or there are many tip providers who will give you buy at X, sl at Y, and target of Z. 50 points or 70 points difference between SL, and 70 points of difference between the target. I cannot make that happen. I will trade pure as a trader as the way he's supposed to. The only challenge you will face while trading with me is your inadequate funds or inadequate margin, because I think I'm providing more than the required information and updates and commentary on the market, not only from making you enter into any sort of position. After you are entering into any sort of position, I'm providing you what is happening at the moment. If the momentum is picking up, if the momentum is not picking up, is this the expected momentum that we are seeing? If it is not happening, let's just exit from the trade, irrespective of whether it is hit or not. That is known as momentum trading. Now, for the people who are a bit skeptic or who are a bit scared, there are certain days. Okay, there are certain days. If you see, this is the bull run, or this is the steady run that we have had. When you change any sort of trend, you will go through this. You will face a bit of issues at the beginning, because your setup, your data will still indicate you that this is the direction, but when it is changing its direction, it will lower its speed. Okay, it will shift its gears. So on those occasions, you will face such elements as well. So be ready for that. If you are a very limited lot trader, then even if you look at this, okay, even if you manage to trade just first lot, don't enter into second or third or fourth or fifth odd lot. If you're finding it very difficult to trade all the trades on the channel, just stick to first trade itself. By end of the month, you will find yourself to be gaining decently. But this is not the problem of the multiple trades being shared. This is the problem within us, that even after we have made a decent amount of gains for the day, we will not stop there. Why? Because market is active, or market is no is on till 3:30 of the day. What will I do after no after closing the terminals at around 10:30 odd? There will be further momentum, there will be further gains as well, right? If you are of that opinion, can't help it. But if you are concerned with the with the multiple trades that you have been entering or executing, just execute the first trade of the day itself. You should be good by end of the month. Loss quota over. Loss quota over. Yes, once loss quota is over, you should not be trading further. uh, it depends. Okay, again, it depends on the momentum or the days that we are sailing through. I think on an average, if we are trading 20 odd or 22 odd sessions, we do come across 3 to 4 odd sessions where we are exhausting our loss quota with the initial trade itself. So I believe that is decently accepted. Suggest rupees 1000 gain on a weekly basis. Okay, so I was about to reply to this, but thought we'll try and explain this thing. uh, so guys, the expectations is crisp and clear, the ask is clear, and the ask is very innocent. No, that I just want a gain of rupees 1000 on a weekly basis and nothing much. But when you are trading with 10,000 rupee capital, okay, so while trading with rupees 10,000 of the capital, and you are looking for 1000 gain on a weekly basis, that is somewhere around 10% of your capital, and you are looking for 40 to 50 odd percent of gain of your capital on a monthly basis, right? Is this expectations right? Firstly, in the market, you are not supposed to make any sort of expectations, because this is not the right place to set any sort of expectations. You cannot have any expectations in front of whom you are setting to those expectations. There is no wife, there is no husband, there is no mother, brother, or father in front of you against whom you are setting such sort of expectation. This is market. It doesn't care who are you. So when you enter into market, keep your expectations and your targets behind the doors. Okay, you will make 1000 rupee, you may end up making 5000 rupee a week. or you may end up making 10,000 rupee a week, or you will burn your entire 10,000 rupee in a week. Okay, there cannot be any sort of expectations that you can set when you are into trading. Okay, keep this thing very clear that you are entering into a sort of arena where you have no directions, or where you have no maps to be guided by any sort of things. You have to make your own way. The only thing, or the only rather only things that you can make is follow the process, follow the discipline, keep your emotions, greeds and everything aside. Quite a few members, quite a few traders who you know who who reaches saying, I have this liability to be addressed, I have this thing to be addressed, etc., etc. I don't want to call all those things, but this is not the place where you will be no will be bringing all your liabilities and everything, and will be setting an expectation. Okay, from market I will be able to gain X amount, and that will be used to pay off the liabilities. This is not the place. Rather, what you will be doing is you will be pulling some or the other funds which are not supposed to be in the market, and since just because you have set any sort of expectation that I need to make out some amount so I can pay off my liability, well, you will not be able to book the profits that those are in front of you. Don't set any sort of expectations. Understand what is market first. Okay, because we all know that we all are not new in the market. We have been trading in the market since quite a many many period or many times. Okay, we have been into markets trading since quite a many period. We all have lost thousands, we all have lost lakhs of rupee. But if you are still in the market, what makes you think, or what makes have that expectation that you are going to gain X percentage or X amount from the market? Yes, it may not sound logical that if I cannot have any sort of expectation, then why the hell should I trade into market? Yes, very right thought. Why should you trade into market? If you are entering into market with any sort of expectation, I think you need to change your way. Look for something else where you will be getting a specific amount of gain on the investment that you are making. Market is pure probability. Someone asked me to help me understand with the difference between market and gambling. Let me tell you, gamble there is a very thin line between gambling and trading. There is very thin line. All of us, all of you have been gambling since now. What is gambling? In gambling there are 50-50% of probability. Okay, I hit this slot machine, either I will win or either I will lose. I flip a coin, either it will be head or it will be tail. There is a midpoint in between. Oh, I can lose partially, I can gain partially. There is no such thing in gambling. Either you win or either you lose. The same thing is in trading. If you don't look at technicals, if you don't look at psychological aspect, if you don't follow a process, if you don't follow discipline, if you don't have a plan for yourself, you are doing nothing but just again gambling. You are pumping funds on a monthly basis, 10,000 rupee, 15,000 rupee, 5,000 rupee, 7,000 rupee. You make a loss of 3,000. You pump in again 3,000 into account, and you are ready to trade the next day. But who will think what have happened or what have went wrong? Who will think about those things? You have been gambling. You are gambling. If one really wanted to make that shift, make the change he has been trading, or wanted to do the right trading, he need to understand and accept all these things that I have been talking about now. You need the right margin, you need the right mindset. You cannot keep shaking between this and this. You need to have a plan for yourself. You cannot afford to lose the amount which you cannot, and preserve capital as well. So this is like this is like, no, you are giving me a task that no a task like in a Big Boss, or no any sort of such reality show, that you are given a 10,000 rupee and you are bound to make X amount of gains on a weekly basis, but you should not make any risk or any sort of loss. Can't happen this way. Really can't happen this way. I'm not saying this because because you are associated with me. Think of yourself. You have been trading for quite a long time, even before you have associated with me. Have you been able to do this well? If yes, then I think people can do much better than me, right? But this is not the right expectations. I'm not saying that you cannot make 1,000 rupee gain. You can very well make 1,000 or even more than 1,000 rupee gain. Looking at this heat sheet, who will say we cannot make 1,000 rupee in a day or so? If you trade it right, if you manage to hold yourself right, if you manage to pull yourself right, if you manage to make the trading right, who says you cannot make 1,000 rupee in a day? Week is no is something which is uh, uh, which is left quite behind. But don't shift your mindset. When you see a series of a choppiness or a series of days where you have not been able to make the gains, don't change your mindset. Don't change your mindset. The day you change your mindset, the day that's the day you're shaken off completely. Second thing, yeah, quite a many people have been asking about the missed trade. Okay, what are trades? Okay, what are trades? When I say trades are the high probability entries towards one direction, are they always there, or they form such setups and then we enter into it? They form, right? They get formed. Okay, they get formed, and when they form, we have to make an entry into it. Even today I explained that what's the difference, of entering at the right level and entering when you see a decent amount of gains yet available out there. The right entry or the right execution of trade is where you enter at the level where you see a comfortable loss or a comfortable risk that you can absorb. Okay, I'm not saying where you see high probability of it to be moving ahead or it to be making profit. No, that is secondary. The primary is you are entering from the level where you see the amount of loss, if it happens, that is quite absorbable. You can easily absorb that. You can take that hit. That is well within your loss quota. That is the primary reason you look for a level from where you can enter into it. The secondary reason, obviously, there has to be reason for you to enter, because of no because that leads to you towards that direction. Else there's no point entering into any sort of trade. But primary reason is the important one, where you make an entry. Okay, you have made an entry, you have passed halfway through of your targets. Okay, and still there is further potential that Bank Nifty may fall another 300 points from the current levels. But you will see that there are potential of 300 further fall on the Bank Nifty, but you will try to ignore, or you will just don't look behind and see Bank Nifty have already fallen from 400 points from the level it has been intimated. That is not the right point to enter into any trades. Yes, technically there are certain things you can look for retracement, you can look for OI data, you can look for multiple methods. I don't rely on any single methods. I make a combination of multiple methods, then I indicate things to be happening or no to be entering or not. But just because you have missed the trades, okay, you have missed the trade, I accept, I acknowledge that we all are working professionals. Okay, we have to attend meetings, we have to attend emails, we have to take care of certain things. But market is not something who is going to wait for you. Don't try to chase market. If you have missed the opportunity, you have missed the opportunity. Accept it. Don't try to chase it. This is not the only last opportunity that you are going to you would have been onboarded and you would have made profit. There will be further opportunity. If not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. There is no point in getting in between of the trade, just because you see 300 of further fall is there, and I wanted to I at least wanted to make some trade, be it loss or profit, but I wanted to enter into any trade today. That's not the right mentality. That's not the right approach to to trade. Irrespective, you see a good amount of fall yet to happen, you are not supposed to enter into it. If the right level is missed, that is missed. I get very pressurized. Okay, I see. I don't gain any merits. Okay, I don't gain anything merits, or I don't gain anything extra by keeping the discussion forum on. Taking your questions, explaining you the explanations are done in the channel itself. I don't have to keep that forum on. I keep that forum on because if someone wants to understand something, if someone wants to ask something, I can address that. But 75% of the questions that I get is, I missed the trade. Can I enter now? Can I enter into BN? Can I enter into Nifty? I missed. No trades today. Have I held your hands in entering into any sort of trade? If you have missed because of your own. I cannot hold any sort of trades, just because wait. Someone else is yet to be onboarded. Let him onboard. Then you shoot up. That's not possible, right? So let's understand, and let's accept it maturely. If something is missed, it is missed. There are lakhs of opportunities that are yet to come. If you remain alive in terms of your capital while trading, you can cherish those opportunities. But if you keep hunting, or if you keep running behind the missed trades, probably your capital may not survive that long. Taking very small profit or booking loss before SL hit when I see sudden reversal candle because of fear. If first trade of the day is booked loss, sudden fear and emotion raises, it blocks to trade further trades. See, I understand this. This is normal. This is not something that I would try to correct, or I would term it illogical. This is normal. Uh, this is happening probably because you have not been known to technicals that much yet, or you maybe have been known to it, but you have not been experienced yet, to handle multiple scenarios or multiple situations, at what time market does what and what not. So quite a many no quite a few individuals, not many, quite a few individuals try to post their opinion on the forum that they see it to be reversal, or they see it to be making a u-turn from there. Guys, there is a difference between reversal and retracement. There is a high or huge difference between a retracement and a reversal. What we see on the chart, yes, it is happening in front of us, but at times what's happening is not the actual thing that is supposed to happen. The actual thing is something else that you need to learn, that you need to practice, and only then you will be able to gauge what's happening and what's not. Booking very small profits, as I said, I really cannot help here unless and until you don't get into the training mode, or makes a decent amount of practice, because a trader's weapon or equipment is his trading plan. If you have your trading plan, if you have your certain certain parameters on which you rely blindly, things happening this way, things happening that way, this is the opinion, and this is the view that you are building, and based on that view you are gauging the probability, and then entering into any trade. That is your trading plan. If you are a bit fearful, on such things, I sense that you don't have a trading plan at yet. If you don't have a trading plan at yet, you are depending upon me, and then you are fearing all this thing, then also it is fine, because on channel, during the live market hours, uh, talking about so many breakout points, breakdown points, retest points, retracement points, OI data, and explaining each and everything to you, and then saying that, don't worry, this is not the reversal. This is probably going to shoot up further. Not possible. I have a team of 115 odd plus technical traders who are doing things well, because they are now gauging, they are now seeing things to be happening the way they are supposed to be. If certain things, it is not that, after you are being trained, or after you are being technically trained, you will be able to uh, identify, or spot all the trades right. No, that's not the intent, or that's not the motive of training. The motive of training is to trade right, and not to be right. As I say, trading is purely probability, technical probability. You have to spot those technical probabilities. You have to accept that this is the risk that I'm going to accept. If at all this makes a reversal, if it is making reversal, I may not have to wait for that risk as well. If the momentum is getting fell, I mean, leave it. I'm closing my position. You need to be that neutral. You need to be that brutal with your trades. that you can take those decisions. Loss in one trade, then ignore the day afterwards. Profit trade suggests how to trade if loss occurred. Okay. Again, the same thing. See what builds your confidence. Okay. There are lakhs of people who rely on tip providers. They don't know who is that. They haven't spoken to them. They don't see based on what he's providing the trades, or how is he making the trades happen. What is the reason? What is the logic behind it? They rely on that. that is one one level of trust, or one level of dependency that they are building. Okay. Uh, Ultimately, or ideally, what happens, they will make you enter into any sort of position. They will provide you the SL. They wouldn't push you out of the trades unless and until that that SL gets hit. But on that account, you will be happily accepting that, okay, this happens, market में ये होता है. Okay, profit होता है, loss होता है, profit happens, loss happens. This does happens. Okay. But when for your own betterment, or when for your own benefit, when the stop loss is of 45 or 50 odd points, but I try to pull you off right at the 15 or 20 or 25 odd points risk or loss, people get demotivated. Am I gaining anything by pulling you off out of the trades? If I'm pulling you out of the trades, there is some reason behind it. I don't see the conviction out there. I don't see the momentum to be taking place at the time. That doesn't mean that we are done for the day. If you're trading with the right capital, your loss quota is also not hit yet. Try to understand, try to map a reason, try to map a logic why these things are done. How much capital required to trade with single lot on the bank nifty, I explained right here. I think that should be much pretty clear now, no, what or how much you should be trading against each of the lots. I got some psychological aspects to be cleared, no, because someone asked me to brief a bit about psychological aspect. Psychological aspect is too huge in trading. I say technical is just 20 or 25% of your actual trading. The 70 to 75 to 80% of your actual trading is in your mind. The way you thought, the way you manage yourself, the way you manage your profits and losses. Right. So I'm going to discuss a bit about this. I'm going to take you through a bit about this. Okay, let me just check. Anyone got any sort of different questions that I have just addressed? I just replied this. If you missed, what you need to do. So Atul, yes, in a bank nifty, I have always said that you can always enter into any sort of position with plus minus 10, 15 odd buffer on it, and for nifty it is around 5 to 7 points. I find it difficult to change immediately from SL limit to normal market order. I think the edit and update should happen here. I don't understand what would be the problem out here. Fib retracement, yes, it is used on intraday basis as well, but not suggested for the stop losses, because if you are buying options and trading, this wouldn't help. Yes, but yes, if you are trading in cash, or probably you are holding a positional trades, or a long term, or maybe a midterm positions, then Fibonacci retracements and can be derived based on the stop. No, Fib can be used for the stop losses. That is fine if you are entering into no, the SL after the buy. That is fine. Suppose we have not got a trade as advised by you, but can enter into. 10-15 point is fine.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Satya.
Sir, there is a comment, rookie.
Okay.
You saw that?
Which is better,
The second
brokerage
point.
currently technically
Can you
zero.
clear that?
If by chance missed
No, no, second
upon
one, second
the
one.
tip at exact, sorry Satya, I'm sorry, I don't like this word, tip. Okay, next time please don't write that tip.
Sir,
Upon the
I
tip
not
that
commented,
exact
sir.
time when the message is given. Yeah.
I
Imagine
just
a
wanted,
call is given at the
just
strike price
imagine
of
a call.
100. Okay.
Actually, I am not commented that word.
100 with the SLO 75 and reached 110 and came back to 80 when I saw the message. Can I still enter in such call? So it was given at 100 and now it has hit 110 and now it is back to 80. No, you're not supposed to enter into it just because the risk of is of 5 points. You would want to enter into it. That's not making the case. Rather, if it would have been still at 110 or 115, you should be looking to enter into it because if it hit 110 now and now it is back to 80, there is some logic or there is some reason behind it. Doesn't make a good case to enter into such trades. I think I addressed this 10-15 points on the bank nifty and 5 to 7 points on nifty. That's decently good enough. I see that you keep talking about short covering, etc., which are more technical and less educated enough on market. We may not understand. Can you say it in low layman terms, like if market is positive or negative? Uh, in a very layman terms, if I say that call short covering are happening, that is indicating further upside. Okay. When I say put short covering are taking place, that is indicating further downside. I book my lots 1:2 or 1:3 profit. Is it good? Why not? These are good profits, right? 1:2 or 1:3. How to identify retracement levels? You will have to attend this session because retracement it itself take another approximately 45 to 60 minutes of my time to take you through different variants of retracement that takes place. Nifty strike price buy at 90. When we see it moves to 97 or above, so when shall we? So as I said, no, that there is a buffer that on most of the days it will not happen. That from 90 you are seeing it to be 97. From 90 you will be you will be finding it around 92, 93, maybe 94 around. For bank nifty plus minus 10-15 points is okay. For nifty plus minus 5 to 7 points are okay. Guys, I will have to stop questions. I wanted to really take you to this psychological aspect of it. Then probably, if time permits, if we will be taking some questions. Want to know little about yesterday's bank nifty block not changing up and down. System got stuck. I mean, I wouldn't. This is not the first time this is happening. Whenever there is a huge amount of load on the system, they do act like this. When we have to see 1 minute candle or 5 minutes candle in bank nifty. 1 minute candles sometimes create fears. I as a theory, I never look lesser than 15 minutes candlestick on a time frame. I never look less than 15 minutes time frame on the charts. Just for the first 15 minutes of the market session where I don't have those 15 minutes candle, I look for 5 minutes candle. After it is done, I switch to 15 minutes immediately. Okay, guys, I wanted to take you through this as bit of psychological aspect. I hope it shall. So guys, stop dreaming. So this is very much related to the to the newcomers who enter into the market. So this is a bit subset of my training plan that I usually take my trainees through during the last day of the session, talking a bit about the psychological aspect, so they know this. So what happens, when you enter into market being a very very new or a beginner, market tries to welcome you. Okay, so you enter into any sort of trade by deploying 10,000 rupee and market welcomes you with the profit of 7,000 rupee. You are like, wow, I just deployed 10,000 rupee and I gained like 7,000 rupee. Just imagine if I would have deployed 1 lakh rupee, I would have a gain of 70,000 today. This is really amazing place to be, right? So what that person will think, next time when I'm entering into market, I need to enter into market with a bigger margin or a bigger capital. Okay, he tries to accumulate those funds from his friend families. May try to avail some loans or mortgage something. He will try to accumulate those funds because he's just carried away with the profits that he have made. Okay, but he will never think that what happened that day when I executed that order. What was the reason for getting that amount of profits? Is this not quite unusual? Or you just have heard about the markets is something like the who can make you millionaire in a day or who can make you beggar in a day. So you are definitely going to be a millionaire. Oh, you are just forgetting the other part of the story of the beggar, but you are for sure going to be a millionaire. So you accumulate some good amount of funds, like 1 lakh rupee or 2 lakh rupee, and you enter into the trade. Now you're looking for the profits of around 70 odd thousand, because that day you entered into no 10,000 trade, and you made 70 of it. So now you are looking for that. Okay, you gain 20,000, you gain 30,000, you're still at 40,000, because you don't know anything about it. You don't know ABC of the market, but you are just entering into trade just because someone have told you, but you fail to manage your positions. Okay, you are lacking knowledge, you are lacking skills, you are lacking the way it needs to be handled, and that's the day where you will burn out your entire capital. But this doesn't stops there. Okay, this doesn't stops there. You wouldn't think that why did I fail today, where when that day I made huge amount of money. You will think probably I have not done something right. Let me get more funds now. Okay, which will not only recover the losses that I have made today, but it will but I will also be making additional gains over it. So next time you enter with 3 lakh rupee. Okay, and this is the chain which is going to keep continuing unless and until you question yourself, what happened that day, what has happened that day which gave me 7,000 of profits, and what happened that day where it took away all my 1 lakh rupee. This is the process of market which you need to understand, which you need to learn, which you need to practice. This is the example which I keep giving, that if you wanted to be a doctor, if you wanted to be anything in your life. Okay, you wanted to be a doctor, you wanted to be a project engineer, you wanted to be a civil engineer, you wanted to be a CA. Okay, any profession you wanted to be into, what do? You study first. You get yourself admitted into a college, you study for 3 or 4 odd years into it, learning things, learning no learning the basics, learning the expertise. Then you practice with someone. If you wanted to be a doctor, you will be practicing, no you will be practicing into some medical institutions. Okay, and after a good amount of practice, probably you will be opening your own hospital or dispensary, or you will be associating with other hospital. Then you will be having that courage, the confidence, and the skill to operate someone. So any earning process goes through a learning process and a practice. Now with market, the problem is, okay, market is open to everyone. Okay, you are literate, you are illiterate, you are a millionaire, you are beggar, whoever you are, it is open to everyone. You just have a PAN card, you just have a bank account. That's it. You don't require anything else. Now you have 1,000 left in your account, or you have 1 crore left in your account. Market doesn't care about it, and even you don't care about it. You create your demat account. Okay, now let's start printing money. You create your demat account. You don't focus on the study or the required information or the knowledge to be acquired, the practice to be done, but you deploy your hard-earned money because one of your friend have told you that I have made 50,000 of just 30,000 in the last month by trading. Even I wanted to do that. You get into that mode. You follow that individual for some days. You are gaining a good amount of money. You are getting more and more confidence, but you are not acquiring any sort of knowledge. Again, you will be falling into the same chain. You will be making losses and losses. Okay, because you don't know what's going wrong with you. You don't know the process of trading. You don't know the skills required in the trading. You More importantly, you don't know the most important psychology of the trading. right? You don't know that. Know them first. Don't just lose your hard-earned money. What is the need for me to share the possible information with you on the channel? Because at least looking at the information, because looking, at least looking at the the charts that I'm sharing, the comments that I'm making, you will be at least starting to relate them. Okay, he said this is because this, and this is here this because this. Okay, probably this is happening because no, this was said. At least you will start correlating things, that this is not just a satta bazaar, this is not just a gambling sort of thing, but there is some level of study is applied out here. So stop dreaming. No expectations, no emotions. You cannot have anything. You can only have your process in place. Okay. Whoever follow the process well, he's the one who will be making money. It's as simple as that. Now the problem with no with quite a many traders is they have done quite well for a shorter stint. Probably they have just entered. They have been doing quite well. Like 3 months or 5 odd months. They have been doing well. They have been gaining well. Okay. Now they will get into overconfidence mode. They will try to be the babajis. They will try to be in astrologers. I know things. I have been making things right. I have made decent amount of profits, and they will start predicting things. I personally take tips and prediction as a taboo for me. I get irritated when someone says your tip was good, your predictions are nice. Those are taboo for me. I am not an astrologer. I am not a babaji to tell you do this and you will be here. I'm pure a technical analyst. I look at the data, I look at the charts, I try to gauge, I try to understand what's happening between the bulls and bear. What is the probable outcome? If this happens, this is going to be here. If that happens, this is going to be here. While it is here and there are certain other probabilities as well. Like today in the Bank Nifty, I have given you multiple things. If it breaks this, then probably here is no, it is going to get tested. It tests and it will again make a fall, because there is an aggression in the candlestick that was forming. So even if you have been doing really well, get out from that Babaji wala mode, get out of that astrological wala mode. Term yourself to an in no to a technical trader, to a technical analyst. Stop predicting things, start indicating things. The benefit of indicating things, when you indicate things, you are looking at both the sides of the trade, not just one direction, but on the other direction as well. So you know uh, subconsciously you are making yourself aware that if this doesn't work this way, this is the loss that you are going to take. So you are prepared for it, right? You are prepared for it. Many traders give predictions. Bullshit. I mean, I take predictions as a taboo for me. No one can predict anything in this market. You can only indicate things, and you can only trade the probabilities. Period. Ditch your trades when the trade ditches you. Okay, when your trade ditches you, you should ditch your trade. Why you want to keep holding it? Don't get married to your trades. Don't get married to your trades. If a trade has ditched you, ditch your trade the very moment. If it is not acting the way you are expecting, ditch your trade. No one is closing the gates, or no one's closing your doors for you to re-enter into the markets. You can always re-enter into market unless and until you are fit and fine. Trading is not a group activity, or not a social activity. Very much. This is the problem I face at times, because trading is not a social activity. Trading is done at silos. It is a loner's job. The problem is trading is done based on your own abilities and your own skill set. To the best of your abilities, you can identify, you can read, you can form a view, and you can enter into it. Just imagine, after you have formed your view based on no, based on technicals, based on data reading, everything and all. Now you are holding a high conviction that this is the direction that I'm going to enter with the with this amount of stop loss. I'm fine with it. The moment someone goes contra against you, okay, I don't think this is going to happen. Okay, I think this is going to fail. Whatever study, whatever opinion, whatever views, whatever efforts that you have put into to form that strong opinion, that is thrashed away. You will again look into charts, you will now get puzzled, now you will get confused. Was I really right, or do I need to recheck again? Why did he make any sort of contra comment or contra view there? Is he right, or am I right? It is okay to be wrong at times. It is okay to hit stop loss at times, but no one should tell you that no, you are doing wrong. That will shake your own confidence, and you will not be able to gauge, or you will not be able to do right further, as you have been and you have done more than 100 times in past. So trading is not a social or group activity. Never enter into market with any sort of emotion or expectations. What are emotions? What are expectations? Emotions are, like at times you are very very happy, you are very excited, where you are very no sad, disheartened, you are fearful. Can happen, right? We are humans. Trading is not the only thing that we know that we carry along with ourselves. We are humans. We will go through different emotions on a daily basis. The day you find yourself to be in any sort of these emotions, you should avoid trading. You should avoid trading. This is especially for the ones who are identifying calls by their own, trading on their own. If you are going through such things, you should avoid those things. Expectations builds from a reason. I have to pay electricity bill, I have to pay phone bill, I have to pay the rent. No, I'm short on funds this month. I need to plan for my kids education, for fees and everything. These are expectations. Have expectations, but from yourself, not from the markets. Market is not your father or brother or mother or wife that you are setting expectations. You cannot have any sort of expectations. If you are so short, or if you are so crunch on your funds, don't trade at all. Okay, then markets are very tempting and provoking. No, it will tempt you, that there has been a fall of 400 points on the Dow. We all will be, we all will not be sleeping at night. We all will be kind of, keep looking at Dow. Yeah, yeah, fall more, fall more, fall more, fall more. Tomorrow I will be entering into Bank Nifty PE, and I will be, gaining the equal amount of fall that Dow has made. Does that really happens that way? So market is tempting and provoking. Understand what and how it needs to be traded. What you expect will never happen that way. Trade the reality. Don't trade your dreams. This one is also important, that we are fighting and facing no opponents. So I say, that 90 or 95% of the traders in the market only makes losses. Okay, they only make losses. There are just 5 or 10 odd percent of the individuals who will make profits, and this 90-95% are the donators to them. Why are they donating things? Because they are the ones who are, built with emotion, fears, dreams and egos. They have a lot of expectations from the market. Don't worry, they will keep pumping funds whenever it is required, but they will not be able to make any single amount, or no, or any single profit from the market on a net basis, because they are filled with emotion, fear, dreams and egos. Market doesn't care. Market doesn't respect all these things. Market is merciless. Market is brutal, no sort of domain. So you need to be like that. You need to be neutral. You need to be merciless. You need to be brutal. Don't get attached with your positions. This is with me. I aim to trade right. I don't try to be right. I don't want to be right. Okay, my aim is to trade right. If I've entered into any sort of position, if I don't see it to be moving as expected, I will pull it off. Okay, that is trading right. If I don't pull it off, knowing that it is not moving the way it is expected, then there is somewhere I'm trying to be right. I don't want to be right. I want to trade right. The day you will realize the difference between aim to trade right and aim not to be right, you will understand what is trading. And lastly, this is the thing which I have spoken for more than 1,000 or 10,000 times in the channel, that today is not the last day to earn. For the ones who are looking for building their capital stronger, you are done with your profits. You are done with the day. The technical traders who have been trained so far, after the first trade, after the second trade, on most of the days, okay, I keep receiving the message, done for the day, done for the day, done for the day. They have started doing this in the broader forum as well. Just to make you realize that there are many traders who are closing their day with the profits that they have earned with the initial trade itself. They are not luring or getting into any sort of greed for further profits. What you have gained is your share of that entire ocean. Try to earn your share on a consistent basis from that entire ocean. Don't try to drink that ocean. You cannot. Once you are done with the initial trades, on the initial session of it, close your trade. Spend some time into something productive. Don't even look at market. What is happening? What happened to my trade that I exited at 40 odd points? Oh no, that has risen to 250 points. I should have waited for it, right? Don't look back. Thing is closed, that is closed. Shut down your terminal, close off the telegram, and do something productive. Work on your office projects, work with your kid, work with your work with your wife. Do whatever you want to, but don't look back into market. You are done for the day. And I'm done for the session. Any questions? Any further questions? Guys, I'm done. Thank you for your time. If no questions, then we can wind up. If any questions, do shoot. Welcome, guys. Trailing SL कैसे लगा है? Okay, so guys, the trailing SL is not something that is a different concept or different feature in your tool. There are some broker who are giving this, but on most of the apps, it is a normal SL that you place. The only difference is, for example, if you have entered at a position, entered into a trade at the cost of 240 odd rupee, and just an hypothetical example, if the SL that was given to you is at 200 rupee, okay, that is your initial SL. That I believe you all know how to place. Okay, the moment it shoots up from 240 to 280 or 270 odd rupee, where you are in the gain of approximately 30 or 40 odd points. Now, what is trailing SL? Trailing SL is to edit the SL that you have currently placed at 200 rupee. You will trail it to 240 rupee. You will make an edit and you will save that now my SL is not 200, now my SL is 240 rupee, because the position is already trading at 280 rupee. The moment it shoots up further to 320 rupee from 240 rupee, now you are at the gains of 60 odd rupee. Now what you will do? Now you will edit your SL, which is now at 240 rupee, from 240 to 275 rupee or 280 rupee. You will keep editing and you will keep shifting your SL higher and higher. The cost, or the current market price of the option keeps moving higher. Reason? Now here I cannot tell you what is the difference that you should be taking. This is known as the opportunity cost. Okay, if I have entered at 240 rupee and I see it to be at 340 rupee, I am in a gain of 100 points pure. If I want, I can completely book it off and can cherish the 100-point gains on the Bank Nifty. But if I wanted to look for further potentials or further gains on it, what I will have to do, I will have to bear the opportunity cost. Now that opportunity cost can be 25 rupee, can be 30 rupee, or can be 35 rupee. That is up to you. Okay, so what you will do, if it is 30 rupee, then when it is trading at 340 rupee, you will be moving your stop loss to 310 rupee. So if at all it makes a reversal, if market reverses, your trade will get booked at 310 rupee, which you have entered at 240 rupee. Okay, you are bearing the opportunity cost. But if at all it further moves higher, okay, you place your SL at 310 rupee while it was at 340 rupee. And if it further moves higher, now it is 380 rupee, shift your SL from 310 to 340 rupee or 350 rupee. Okay, this is the opportunity cost that you have to bear. You can either book entire, no, if you are satisfied, or if you're not satisfied, keep trailing your stop losses, but be ready that this is opportunity cost, which can which can reverse and hit your stop loss and book your trades. No problem. Welcome. Can you please provide weekly short selling calls for people 9 to 5 time frame employees like me who can't monitor trades. Mm, we'll think over this, Nagesh. I haven't done such sort of things. Well, we'll surely think about it. The thing that I usually suggest to people who have been, into 9 to 5 odd period employees to enter into positional trades. If you are not able to trade, into the intraday trades, you can probably, enter into positional trades on futures. Obviously, not on the options. Uh, I have been hesitant to, to say yes to carry forward options because there are reasons. There are option grids which are to be learned. I have seen them for quite a many years, so I strictly say no, unless and until no, I'm 200% sure that tomorrow it is going to be a gap up, and a gap up of a sizable size, which can offset the, the potential erosion of the premium that can happen. So if at all you wanted to if at all you wanted to trade positionally, choose futures to be traded. I will think about this short selling of the calls or puts, for people. We'll get back to you. All right, guys. Thank you for your time. Good 1.5 hour session we had. Okay, I will try to post the recording of this. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Good night.